Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's GoodGiving Challenge training webinar. Looks like some people are still logging on, so I'll go ahead and get started and go over some housekeeping items while people are still joining us. I'm Lauren Parsons. I'm Bluegrass Community Foundation's Director of Strategic Initiatives and Communications, and the lucky staff liaison who gets to work with you on the GoodGiving Challenge. We are recording today's webinar, and we will share that on our YouTube channel and share the link to that out in the in our emails to you. And I'll also share the slides, so you don't have to write down everything that's on the screen, and you'll be able to revisit this content later and share it with other members of your team. And I also invite your comments and questions. I'll address all the questions at the end of the webinar. So if you think of a question at any point, just type it out in the Q&A function of the Zoom. And you can also upvote other people's questions if you see a question posed that you would also like to see answered. If you can put things in the chat, but I would prefer they go in the Q&A so that I can keep all that sorted. Or if you'd rather ask your question verbally, you can raise your hand and I can unmute you and you can ask it that way. I'll also be using the poll function a few times during the webinar. So I'll go ahead and start with the first poll. I'm just curious what the makeup is of our folks who are signed on today. Is this your first year in the challenge? Have you participated before? And why I put that 3 years question in there. I have been with Bluegrass Community Foundation for 3 years. So I know that the challenge looked a lot different before I came on board. It used to be 2 months long. Now it's just a week long. So things have changed a lot in the last few years. So I'm just kind of curious who's here and what your experience with the challenge is. So it looks like people are still responding, but about a fourth are new this year. So I'm really glad you guys are tuned in today. We'll cover a lot of good information, and I can't wait to get started. So there will be basically 3 chapters sort of to this webinar. The first one is just sort of the nuts and bolts about the challenge, how it works. The second chapter will be all the matches and prizes available. And then the third will be just some tips for success. So I'm going to end the poll and get started. Just a little bit about Bluegrass Community Foundation for those of you who are new. Bluegrass Community Foundation has been around since 1967. We're basically like a charitable bank. People have donor-advised funds or other funds with us. They give money through us, not to us. So they put their money in Bluegrass Community Foundation, and then we help them grant that money out into the community. We've facilitated, 128 million in grants since 1967. And last year alone awarded 14.6 million in grants to nonprofit organizations. Our mission is to build vibrant, generous, and engaged and equitable communities in Central and Appalachia, Kentucky. And that our core 4 pillars of grant making include healthy neighborhoods, green spaces and public places, education, and transformative philanthropy. We know that philanthropy has the power to change lives, and the GoodGiving Challenge is sort of an outgrowth of that pillar of grant making for us. So a little bit about the GoodGiving Challenge, just the history. It started in 2011, so we're in its 11th year. It is now a week-long online giving campaign, which makes giving to nonprofits easy and fun. We really want more people to be charitable in our community, and the GoodGiving Challenge makes it really easy for people to give back. And it launches every year on Giving Tuesday. Our 10-year total of fundraising for the GoodGiving Challenge is 14.1 million. Last year, the total raise was 2.39 million, and the average raise for nonprofit last year was over $18,000. The average gift size was $175, and a third of donors gave to a new nonprofit for the first time. So this is a really great way to reach out to your existing donors and also gain access to new donors too. So go ahead and mark your calendars if you haven't already. The first day of the Good Giving Challenge this year is on Giving Tuesday, November 30th. And the challenge launches at 9 a.m. and it will run through Monday, December 6th at 11:59 p.m. Just some of the benefits of participating for your organization. The first is a seamless experience for donors. The second is collective marketing. And the third is all the matches and prizes available. So the first we'll touch on is the donor experience. Your donors are able to give to multiple organizations on one site. It's kind of like as easy as online shopping. They can just browse all of the different nonprofits, enter in their donation amounts, add those to their cart, and then check out all at once. And then they receive an immediate tax receipt from BGCF. So it makes it really, really easy for them. There's also the collective impact. They get to be part of a really fun community-wide event, and their donations get to go even farther with all the matches and prizes available. So with the collective marketing aspect, there will be 179 organizations and their biggest fans leading donors to one website. And you'll get marketing support from BGCF and Smiley Pete. This includes all of the media awareness. I just met with our PR consultant yesterday and mapped out a really robust PR plan. So I'm excited to do that, get that started. There's also the print guide. This is a magazine that goes out in the Smiley Pete publication, Business Lexington, the Southsider, and Chevy Chaser. And that goes out to 35,000 to 40,000 homes and businesses in central Kentucky. And if you haven't already, you've probably heard from Peyton Crosby on my team, who is collecting the information for the print guide. If you haven't submitted that already, please get that into her. Our print deadline is early because that will go out in the mail in November. Like it hits mailboxes right before the start of the challenge, but we have to get everything in early. So please send her that information. She might drop that Google form in the chat feature as well to help you out. Then there's also, our social media campaign. We have a lot of fun promoting the challenge generally and raising awareness of all the nonprofits participating in the next few months. And all of the support materials that we provide to you to help you create your campaign. We're also, we'll be providing another webinar in October about social media and other digital marketing to help you create your campaign. What we like to say is we'll promote the challenge. You just need to promote your organization. And so then the fun part, the matches and prizes. Again, this year, we're so excited to offer over $600,000 in matches and prizes. There'll be daily match challenges and also daily social media sweepstakes. So I'll touch on those more in a bit. I know that's why you're all tuned in to learn about those exciting opportunities. So this is really helpful for all the new organizations. How does this work? Okay, so if you are on BG Gives, if you look at that site now, you've probably been on it. It has a countdown. It says now 74 days, 11 hours, 53 minutes, and 10 seconds. So it seems far away, but it'll be here before we know it. At 9 a.m. on November 30th, this will switch over to a different mode, and you will be able to make donations on the site starting at that time. Not before. We don't do early giving. So that site will switch over at 9 a.m. on November 30th. And your donors will make their donations on bggives.org. They will not be able to make a donation on your website or any other site, hand you a check or anything like that. The donations have to be made on bggives.org to qualify for matches and prizes and to count towards your fundraising total for the Good Giving Challenge. The donations can be made by credit card, electronic check, or using, if one of your donors has a BGCF donor advised fund. The gifts are 100% tax deductible. That means that you cannot offer quid pro quo in exchange for donations. If you want to send something to your donors afterwards, like, a sticker, a thank you gift, that is up to you, but you cannot entice them to make a gift by offering something in exchange for that. That's how we maintain all of the that all the gifts are tax deductible. The minimum donation for donors is just $10. That goes back to our mission of making charitable giving easy and accessible for everyone in our community. And there is no maximum donation. So your donors can give as much as they want during the GoodGiving Challenge. So like I said, if you have donors who want to give by paper check, we really cannot accept those during the GoodGiving Challenge. So you'll have to walk them through how to create an account and to donate online. You can see what that process is like. You can create an account as a donor. If you click on login in that upper right hand corner, you can see what it looks like on the donor side, but you won't be able to make a gift until November 30th, obviously. But it's really easy. They could also make a gift as a guest, so they don't have to go through that. But all the donations do need to come in through bggifts.org. So there are some fees associated with the gifts that come in through the website, about 5%. There is a processing fee. It's like the Stripe technology fee that is pretty common with online giving. And then also the technology fee that goes towards the platform. If your donors give a gift with a donor advised fund at BGCF, there is no fee on those gifts. But just keep in mind that these fees do not go towards BGCF or Smiley Fee. So the fees, though, most donors, a large majority of donors do cover those fees. That helps their gift go farther and impact you even more. So it's kind of not really complicated, but all donations are increased by about 5%. For donors paying by electronic check, that 2% difference goes to the nonprofit. So I'm going to go back. That 2% processing fee, that's for that credit card gift. And then the 3% technology fee applies to everybody. So all those gifts are increased by the same amount, but the difference, if people pay by electronic check, that difference goes to you. So you're still only, they're still only assessed the technology fee. It makes sense. It's just it seems kind of complicated at first. So, but like I said, about 80% of donors cover those fees. And like I said, all of the donations are tax deductible. They will receive an immediate tax receipt via email. And the charges, if they are confused, they might call you and they might be confused. I thought I gave to this nonprofit during the GoodGiving Challenge, but it says Bluegrass Community Foundation on our credit card statement. What does that mean? So basically all of the gifts are made to us, Bluegrass Community Foundation, and then we'll mail a check to you with all of the donations. We take out the fees, we add the matches and prizes. This takes a few weeks to do. So we have to wait until the credit card gifts are cleared. And sometimes sometimes a charge will be denied. Sometimes they dispute a charge. We have to wait a few weeks for all of those to balance out. And then we do the math on all the matches and prizes and the fees. And then we send a check to you definitely by the end of January, probably earlier. So the challenge used to be open and you can make a gift on bggifts.org through the end of December, but we're not doing that anymore, just so that we can pay you sooner. So now giving on BG Gives will be cut off at the end of the challenge. That will not be extended anymore. And people can just give on your website or mail a check to you if they still want to make a donation to you. But we did expedite that just so that we could get those checks to you sooner. Okay, and so as far as expectations, what can you expect from us? Support, We are available by email and phone during the week, and we're here to answer any questions that you might have. The GoodGiving Challenge is my favorite thing that I get to do at Bluegrass Community Foundation, so I love helping nonprofits make the most of it. We will send frequent emails with news and announcements. We offer you the giving portal on bggives.org, and we promote the challenge for you. And we've accumulated all these matches and prizes for you to make it even more fun. And what do we expect from you? Please, please, please read your emails. It might seem like we email you a lot, but it's because we have so much information to share with you. And we do ask you for things from time to time, like the print guide, submissions, things like that. It's really important that you read those emails from us. We expect you to build a strategy. We expect you to use social media, involve your board, share your giving URL. We expect you to get creative. And most importantly, we expect you to have fun. So now for the second chapter of our webinar, the best part, right? The matches and prizes. So, all right, here we go. On Tuesday, November 30th at 9 a.m., when the GoodGiving Challenge opens up, we will be starting out with the Murray Foundation $100,000 match day. And this match will be a 50 cent on the dollar match on unique gifts up to $250. So this means the maximum match is $125. So if a donor at 9 a.m. logs on and makes a gift to you for $250, that gift could become $375. And when we say unique gifts, what we mean is that by that is, say I am making a donation to a nonprofit, I can do that one time and be matched on that gift. I can't go in and give to the same nonprofit over and over again and have that gift matched. That gift, so it's uniqueness is based on like billing, zip code, email address, things like that, name. There's different ways that we can filter it out. We can see if somebody is trying to game the system, but it's one match per donor per nonprofit, essentially, is what that unique gift means. And that match will go from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. or until the pool is exhausted. The second match on that day is for the first 100 nonprofits that completed registration. That list went out in one of the emails that we sent, and we will put this up on the Neon One site for you to reference as well. This is a 50 cents on the dollar match up to $250. So basically, for the nonprofits that raise $500 on that day, they get another $250. And you have from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to get that done. I think all but maybe 2 or 3 last year got that done. So it's very attainable, especially on that first day. There's so much activity and giving activity going on that first day. It's really easy to achieve. So then the second day, Wednesday, December 1st, this is the McAdam Family Foundation $25,000 match day. So this will be a dollar for dollar match on unique gifts up to $50. So again, if a donor gives you $50, that could become $100. This is one of the biggest bang for your buck in terms of ROI on the gifts. And this goes from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. or until the match pool is exhausted. On Thursday, December 2nd, is again the BGCF $35,000 endowment challenge. This is going from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So every nonprofit with 50 unique donors of at least $25 will be entered in a drawing for a $5,000 endowment prize. The nonprofit with the highest number of unique donors of at least $25 will win a $15,000 endowment prize. The nonprofit with the second highest number of unique donors of at least $25 will win a $10,000 endowment prize. And then this is a new one we added this year, a third place. The nonprofit with the third highest number of unique donors of at least $25 will win a $5,000 endowment prize. So if your nonprofit has an endowment with us already, there's quite a few of the organizations that participate that do. These are the ones that usually go for this prize. If you don't have an endowment with us, this would be a really good way to get one seeded and started if your organization has that as a goal. And if you want more information about endowments at BGCF, you can send me an email and I'll connect you with someone on our team that can send you more information about that. This is a really exciting day. We'll do a drawing. We'll announce the winners the next day on that Friday. And then we'll do the drawing as well. So this is a really fun challenge to watch. On Friday, December 3rd, this is a new challenge this year. This is the Given to the Groove 11,111 11th anniversary celebration. So this goes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. or until the match pool is exhausted. A $10,000 match pool will match gifts up to $100, 50 cents on the dollar. So the maximum match is $50. And then the nonprofit with the most gifts of $1,000 made between 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. will receive a $1,111 match prize. So this is all to celebrate our 11th anniversary. This is sponsored by Given to the Groove and Ellie Venn. She loves the number 11, so she was happily sponsoring this challenge for us this year. On Saturday, December 4th and Sunday, December 5th, is the Mitchell Family Foundation and Louis Bizak Family Fund $50,000 Fast Break Challenge. So this is the same as it was last year for those of you who are back again. This goes from 9 a.m. to December 4th to 9 p.m. December 5th. So the first 10 organizations to raise $5,000 will get a $2,500 prize. And then the next 25 to raise $2,500 get a $1,000 prize. This one's also really fun to watch. So you have the whole weekend to get there. And then Monday, December 6th, again, we have the Marksbury Family Foundation $60,000 match. This is a 50 cents per $1 match on unique gifts up to $500. The maximum match there is $250. So this goes from 9 a.m. on Monday, December 6th to 8:59 p.m. or until the match pool is exhausted. And then this is new this year. We have the Knight Foundation $25,000 late night push. So gifts up to $100 will be matched dollar for dollar. And this goes from 9 p.m. to 11:59 p.m. till the end of the challenge or until the match pool is exhausted. We also will be, Bluegrass Community Foundation will be sponsoring happy hour power hours again. We are still working on some other power hour sponsorships. So we don't know exactly when the power hours will go. We know there'll be at least 3, hopefully more, because those are really fun. We usually do those at, and we'll send you this information. It won't be a surprise for you. As we get these tightened up, we'll send you this. But there will be pop-up power hours that will give you a 50 cents on the dollar match on gifts up to 100. So $100 becomes 150. And these will last until each power hour's $5,000 match pool is exhausted. So those are usually, will be around 4 in the afternoon to kind of give a little boost to that midday giving. There are also some county-specific matches. The Clark County Community Foundation is, again, providing a $250,000 match. But this looks a little different this year. I think there are 29 Clark County nonprofits participating. So they had to change their match a little bit. And how that will look is the match pool will open on Tuesday, November 30th at 9 a.m. and will last until the pool is exhausted, basically until each nonprofit's match pool is exhausted. So how that works is there'll be a dollar for dollar match up to $8,500 per Clark County nonprofit. And then at their check presentation ceremony, they're going to award other matches and prizes. So that will look a little different, and that will be up to the discretion of the Clark County Community Foundation. More information, I'm sure, will be coming on that soon for those Clark County nonprofits. There's also the Hudson Ellis Fund $20,000 match pool. That is a 50 cents on the dollar match for Boyle County nonprofits that raise at least $1,000. So that is capped at $5,000 for each organization, and it matches individual donations from unique donors up to $1,000. And this match lasts until the pool is exhausted. We also do daily social media sweepstakes. So you can tell your fans to like and follow BGCF on social media to receive instructions on how to enter these daily social media contests. Usually we post a picture and then we'll include instructions in the picture. They need to comment like their favorite thing about the GoodGiving Challenge or why they love your organization. Those comments are really, really fun to read. And if we choose one randomly and they have to like BGCF and comment on the post, and then you will win a $250 giving card. Basically, a $250 prize gets added to your total. So that really encourages your fans' participation in the challenge. All right. Chapter 3, tips for success. So before we dive into this chapter, I'm going to start another poll. Maybe. All right. Poll number 2. I had the idea actually right before this webinar started. I wondered if it would be helpful to offer a standing regular Zoom call or meeting to answer any questions, to discuss ideas, whatever date or time that is set for. I would just send out those calendar invites and you guys could just dial in if you had any questions that week. So if you think that would be helpful, how often would you like to see those calls? Weekly, biweekly, or monthly? If it was monthly, that would only be like 3 or 4, but biweekly might be a good idea. I just think it might be really helpful to just have a standing opportunity to, we could provide you with some tips and then you guys can ask questions, whether it's about, I know the matches are kind of confusing for new organizations and there's a lot of information to digest. So we want to help you in the best way possible. I know that this training used to be, like a 4-hour long session at the library. We can't do that now, obviously, but I want to offer as much time for Q&A to you guys as possible. So, all right, it looks like a majority of you think that would be helpful. And bi-weekly looks like the majority response there. So I will send those out in our email to you next week and we can start doing those. I think that would actually be really fun. All right, thank you for doing that. All right, chapter 3, tips for success. So basically what you get out of the GoodGiving Challenge is what you put into it. I know it seems like a lot of work, seems overwhelming, but I will say our team at BGCF, everything that you guys are doing, we're trying to do too. We are posting on social media, we're sending emails, we're doing all the publications and stuff. So we totally get that it's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun. It can be really rewarding. And that extra work makes it really, really worth it for your organization. So I'm just going to go through about 8 tips and steps for success. The first one is set a goal. Whether it's the total that you want to raise during the GoodGiving Challenge, whether it's the total number of gifts, trying to reach new donors. Maybe you want to get 20 new donors that give to your organization during the challenge. Setting a goal will really help you make a plan and achieve that success. And secure your own matches. We do provide, for some organizations, here in Clark County, for example, there's really good matches. We have the matches that are available to all the organizations, like on the other days of the challenge. So But what can really be helpful and boost your success is if you get some of your biggest fans to make a match. Encourage your board members to set a fundraising match for you. And I'll show you how to create peer-to-peer fundraising pages in just a second. But we make it really easy for them to fundraise for your organization. And get creative. You know your donors, you know the best way to reach them. You guys all, I love seeing all your social media posts during the challenge every year. I love the way that you guys get creative. You're doing Instagram lives and Facebook lives, and I'll receive mailers from nonprofits with the GoodGiving challenge in it. So just get creative, have fun with it. It can be a really fun time, and it's a great opportunity to tell your story. Make the plea. What makes your organization great? Why should people support you? What have you accomplished over the last couple of years? I know it's been a really challenging time for all of us, but I know that all of you have achieved really great things despite those challenges. So tell your story. Tap into your networks. Think about all the networks you have that support you, your board, your donors, previous donors, potential new donors, your friends, your family. Tap into your donors and your networks and really get to know your donors. Think about how you can dig into that data that you have from previous donors and really get to know your donors and think about how to ask them to donate to you during the GoodGiving challenge and how to personalize that ask. It really means a lot. I know when we support nonprofits and we receive those personal asks, it makes me really motivated to give back to that organization again. Excuse me. And start early. It is not too early to start. I know it's 74 days away, but those 74 days will go by really quickly. So start early. On your bggives.org profile, this is the front-facing piece that everyone will see when they come to the site. Complete your profile. Put in the description. What is your organization? What makes it great? Include testimonials. That's a great place to share the story for people who may not be on your current email list or your current mailing list, for people to learn about your organization. Make it really visual, include photos and videos, opportunities for volunteering and different donation levels. And then link to your website and social media pages so it's easy for people to learn more about you. And then another thing that you can do, think about what keywords you should use in your profile. And also there's a space where you can just add keywords. People can just search by, now I'll demonstrate this in a second. They can plug in trees or dancing or something, and they will see all the organizations that mention that in their profile. Be sure to check your URL, bggives.org/whatever follows that, and then use that everywhere. Use that on social media. Link to that in your e-newsletters and your Facebook profiles and everything. I would even too, on your website, when it gets close to the challenge, if you have a donate now button, I might update that link to go to the bggives.org page, just so that it's not confusing for your donors during that time. And our peer-led fundraisers. Over the years, these have had different names: ambassador pages, fundraising pages. It's all the same. It's an opportunity for your donors to create a custom web page and make a personal appeal. This is, like I said, this is a great way for your board members to issue a match and fundraise for you. And then all funds go towards your total. So these individual pages will have their own totals, but it all counts towards your total. And you don't have to approve the fundraising campaigns anymore. I just checked this. I created a page just as a test. You will get an email notification, but you don't actually have to approve it anymore. So you will want to monitor those as they come in and you get notified that those are created, just to make sure that, I can't imagine a situation where somebody would try to be fundraising for you that you wouldn't want them to, but just monitor those. And if your organization has like a project that you're trying to complete, I don't know, like if you're trying to build a playground and you know how much it will cost, $10,000. You could use those fundraising pages as a way to illustrate the different projects or initiatives that you have going on and show, hey, if you help us get towards this goal, you can, help us achieve this. So it's just another way to really demonstrate in a meaningful way what those donations will achieve for your organization. So don't forget donor engagement, current donors. What is, drill down, like I said, into that data, know the retention rate, the average gift size. How would you define a major gift or those giving tiers? Do you know your top 50 donors by gift size or repeat donors? These are the ones you really need to be leaning on during the challenge for sure. And then look at your list of previous challenge donors. Have you incorporated those lists into your mailing list? Don't forget those previous challenge donors because they're very likely to give to you again during the challenge. And be sure to thank them. This is a great time to even say, if you haven't thanked them already, which I'm sure you have, remind them, say, thank you for giving last year. We really hope you give again this year. And, explain to them what their gifts help you accomplish and what they can help you accomplish over the next year. And one thing that we did in creating all the different match challenges is we thought about providing challenges for donors of different price points. So like on the first day, we matched gifts up to $250. On the second day, we matched gifts up to $50. And there's giving sizes, gifts of all sizes can be maximized during the challenge. So we were really intentional with looking at those match challenges and thinking about, are we kind of hitting donors of all abilities here? So take those lists and compare it to your donor list. Maybe you aren't sending a plea to all donors every single day. Maybe you're thinking, okay, well, these are my smaller donors. Maybe I really want them to give on Tuesday or Wednesday, or maybe my big donors, I want them to give on Saturday and Sunday. So be strategic. Think about all the match challenges available and think about your donor lists and how those can work together and maximize those matches. And then don't forget, with the new challenge donors you might get this year, what do you want to get out of the challenge? It's not just about a one-time gift, right? You want to incorporate them into your stewardship plans. It's about creating relationships. We think of the GoodGiving Challenge. It's not just a week out of the year. It's an opportunity to create relationships with our local nonprofits and for you to create relationships with your donors. And it really is something that we want you to benefit from throughout the year, not just 1 week. And then think about your marketing campaign. Like I said, we will be offering a digital media campaign webinar in October, but go ahead and start thinking about how can you incorporate the GoodGiving Challenge and promoting it into your existing marketing. Are you do you have an e-newsletter that you send to your donors? Maybe put a little save the date in the bottom of that and put a link to your website on BG Gives. It's never too early to start getting people familiar with the challenge. If you have a print newsletter, again, it doesn't only have to be digital, and we will make the logo available to you if you would like to include that logo in any of these campaigns as well. So just think about how to incorporate the challenge into your existing marketing strategies. And be sure to, during all this, it's not just promoting the GoodGiving Challenge, it's telling your story and how gifts can help your organization. Really make a good plea for what you do, who you serve, Why do you need the help of your donors? Why are you worthy of their charitable gifts? And how could your impact grow with their support? And I think this is important. When I did this presentation last year, we were, and still in COVID-19. We're still here a year later. I never thought that would be the case, but I think it's still an important thing to talk about is how your organization has been impacted by COVID-19. I know that the demand for our services has never been greater, and I think that's important to share with donors. Here are some tools that you can use to help you plan these campaigns, and our team uses a lot of these. MailChimp, HubSpot, Canva. Canva is an online graphic design tool that we also use Adobe, but Canva is a little bit easier. I actually made this presentation using Canva. It's really easy to use. Buffer is a tool that we use. Also, Hootsuite is something similar. We will even go in and plan out a lot of our social media posts during the challenge weeks in advance. So there's a lot of things you can do. It's a lot of work, but there's a lot that you can do in advance to help ease that workload during the challenge when you're trying to, reach out to donors maybe more directly. So there's a lot of things you can do in advance using these tools, like work smarter, not harder, right? Still a lot of hard work though. So quickly, I will attempt to give a quick demo of the bggives.org site. All right, so I'm attempting to share the homepage of bggives.org. I guess if you can't see it, please drop that in the chat for me. I did a test this morning, so I'm hopeful that this continues to work properly. So first of all, I want to share a couple things on the homepage. This is what everybody sees when they come to the site. And what thing you can do, see here is the keyword search. You can also do it up here. If you typed in dance, like I said, you can see all of the organizations that mention dance in their profile. Another thing you can do, if you got rid of that keyword search, you can see this is important here, the category. Like my mom was crazy about dogs. She asked me, which organizations, help animals. So other people, they're interested in education. You can filter here and see all the education nonprofits. You can also drill down by county over here, which is helpful. I know some of you are in more than one county, and this, I guess, is based on your mailing address. So anyway, and then, on the, once the challenge is live, you'll be able to see a list here of all the nonprofits and how much they've raised and things. So this page will look different. We will load these matches and prizes on this page, but we'll also send you a sheet for your reference. I just wanted to tell you all about the matches and prizes first before I put that out for public consumption. So I'm going to log in as a nonprofit to show you what you'll see. There are a few things that are different this year. Okay, so there are a couple things. This mostly looks the same. As you can see down here, there are some goals that you can set for your organization. These are not public facing. These are just for your purpose. One thing we do not do is this early giving. We don't do giving until the challenge starts on November 30th at 9 a.m. So you can ignore that. But the others, you can set goals there if you would like. That's helpful for you. On your public profile, I'll just kind of go through all these steps quickly. This is where you will update your organization's information. Make sure you put in all your social media, your public-facing content, your mission statement, testimonials, things like that. We still have this alert text that you can see here, and I'll show you what that looks like on on a profile. This is that orange text there. So this is last year's. This hasn't been updated, but you can see, if you have a match opportunity, or if there's something you really want to bring to donors' attention, you can put that right there. Just be sure that you have all this filled out. It really makes, and then down here, I guess this looks different if you hit edit. And down here is where you enter those keywords in. And that can be really helpful when people are searching for info. So I mentioned adding donation levels. If you wanted to just demonstrate, like, what does a gift of $25 do? What does a gift of $50 do? If you have something tangible, like it can provide a class for a student, or it can provide food for a week for a family, or whatever. It really is helpful to see those donation levels, because then people can say, oh, well, I was maybe going to give 50, but if I give 100, I can accomplish this. So it might inspire people to give more. Multimedia. This is where you can add photos and videos. So you can see here, they have some photos right here. And adding them is really easy. You can just select the type, look through your photos, add it here. Sometimes people will get an error. The pictures can only be up to 5. There is a size limit on the photos. So I just make them smaller. Just name. Yeah, I could spell. Submit. And then there's a new picture. So it's really easy to do. If you add a video, it's even easier. You just add the link to a video, like on your YouTube or Vimeo page. So really, really easy to add. If you have volunteer opportunities, you can add those here. Documents you don't need to worry about. I was looking at this today. It's like 990s, which you don't need to do because we have already verified that you are a 501c3 organization or whatever. We've assured donors that you qualify for a tax-deductible gift. So here's where you can see donations from previous years or from the challenge once it starts. There's another section that I'll show you that makes that information a little bit easier to see. And then the users. These are people who are registered as users for your nonprofit. And I think it would be really helpful if you would go in here and make sure that's all up to date. I know we'll get people who might have been on your board a few years ago, and they will send us an email like, why am I getting emails about the GoodGiving Challenge? I'm not on this board anymore, or whatever. Just go in there and make sure everybody's in there who needs to be. And if you have people that you're adding, would you also please add them to our MailChimp mailing list, which I think Kaiten might add in the chat if she has that handy. It is, oh, yeah, she's already put it in there. So you can go, she's added that in the chat. It's a MailChimp landing page. You can just add people. If there's people in your organization that you would like them to get our GoodGiving Challenge emails, you can sign them up there and we'll make sure that they get all the emails, because I've already pulled all the emails from this site. Anyway, going on to the Resource Center, this is where we have now, this is a new feature. This is where we have added our toolkits. Some of these are provided by Neon One. They're like articles, but if you go up here and filter by BGCF toolkits, you can see all of the things that we have updated. So we have the rules for the challenge, strategy builder toolkit, and nonprofit marketing toolkit, a board member toolkit, and your profile checklist. So these are just PDFs. You can download them, print them out, share them with your board members and everything. So makes it really easy there. So then this is a new feature that I wanted to show you. The fundraiser pages, and then there's more donation historical information over here. So if you go to this, I think this is called a waffle. Over here, you will see raise. This is a new feature that Neon One has added this year. So this is where you will see your peer-led fundraiser campaigns when these come in. So you can see this has like more visual donation information, but then also campaigns. And you click on your nonprofit name. Fundraising pages over here under peer-to-peer, fundraising pages. So I created one today just to see how it went, how the process worked. First of all, your donors can create a fundraising page just when they are on your profile on BG Gives. This fundraise button here, that will take them through the steps of creating a fundraising page. But it basically looks like this. It's super easy to do. They just customize the title. There is a character limit. It's kind of short, like 50 characters, but they will update the title of the page, how much they want to raise. They can add a video or an image here, and then share the story about why they're making this plea. And then they just hit save and publish. And then it will be linked here. You'll see them all on this feature. I think it only shows like 2 or 3 here, but then if you click show all, they will all populate. There's none right there now because there have been none created. And if this is a cool feature that I noticed, you can create a template. So if you wanted to create a template and share it with your board, that makes it even easier for them to fundraise for you. So I thought that was a really nice feature to add. You could, put a photo here, whether it's your logo or, a picture of a project or initiative or something that would really be recognizable to donors. I think that would be really helpful. Anyway, I thought that was a cool feature that they've added this year. So then you will see all those fundraising pages here, and you'll be able to see how much they've raised so far. So again, that's to get here. Once you're logged in, you click on this waffle, you go to raise, campaigns, click on your name. There's a lot of steps to get there, I guess. And then fundraising pages. So that's how you get there. And then on donations, you can see all past donations here. And then you can create some reports. So if you really want to dig into that donor data, like I was talking about, this is a good place to do it. Also, I noticed going back to the GoodGiving Challenge site, not the raise. I know we'll get used to it, but this is new. If you go to my donations and you click on donation export, it will just automatically export a spreadsheet with all the giving information of past. It opened in a different window, but it has mailing addresses, email addresses, and everything for your past donors. So that is really, really good information and make it really easy for you to get to that. All right. I think that's it for the BG Gives tutorial. There's kind of a lot there, but there's really I would get in there and just like play around. There's nothing in there really that you can't fix, undo, whatever. So just kind of dig in there. And if you have any questions as you do it, just let us know. All right, so I'm going to go back to our presentation. And if you have any questions, again, you can put them in the Q&A. All right, so the timeline before the challenge. Like I said, it's really never too early to start. You can go ahead and start sharing that board, that board fundraising toolkit, all this information about the matches and everything with your employees, your board, and your donors. Ask your board to commit to donating and fundraising for you. They can even do like a board think-a-thon, like give them, if you export that spreadsheet with all that information, divide that spreadsheet into like, I don't know, 10 and give your board each, some people to reach out to. I think that would be really, really helpful to make those personal pleas and share the load there for you. And go ahead and start capturing donor message about why they give, and then use those to create like a cute social media campaign during the challenge. So it's never too early to start planning. Then during the challenge, keep posting every day, share your story, remind donors of how and when they should give. And then after the challenge, remember, thank your donors, capture their information, and incorporate them into your stewardship plan. Remember, you don't need to send them a tax receipt. We take care of that for you. Okay, so we're 50 minutes in. Do we have any questions? I will go ahead and start looking at those. Yes, so somebody asked if there will be an option to have ambassador fundraising pages. Yes, those are those peer-to-peer fundraising pages. Are there any other questions, comments? I do see where somebody posted in the chat that the fast break challenge, it does go the first 10 to reach 5,000, that did go quickly last year. But the other challenge did take longer to get. So it is possible to get. And I will add, while you all are thinking about any questions you might want to ask during this webinar, our policy is that how will we broken out when you receive your check? Well, I think I did see a question about this. Would it be possible to send the checks for the end of December? Yeah, that is part of our goal in getting in closing PG Gives for donations early. We really do want to send those checks to you as soon as possible, but we do have to wait for those credit card donations to clear. It can take a couple weeks. And then, it's really hard I will say we get them out as soon as we can. We do realize that before the end of the year would be ideal. We really we do our best. I do promise that. And I don't know if it was last year or the year before, I think our office got hit with the flu. So it pushed everything back a week. Just please know we are trying to get them done as quickly as possible. It is not an easy process because, oh gosh, how many donations are there total? And then some of the match prizes are pretty complicated too. Peyton and I don't do any of that. We leave that to the finance team, but it does take them a while to figure out sometimes how those matches work out. And what we will do in the letter that is accompanied with your check, we send a letter that has a breakdown of how much you raised, any fees that are taken out of it, and then a day-by-day breakdown of the total match you qualified for each day. We do not say which donations are matched. We don't tell a donor if their donation is matched. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of donations, and that's just not something that we can get into. And because again, if a donation it can be so complicated, but we provide a total. So, whatever, $175.30, whatever was matched on a certain day. We break it down by day, and then any prizes you won. So you'll see a breakdown of all of that with your check. So you'll receive a total amount of matches, but not which donations were matched. I don't know if that's helpful, but I do think new organizations don't know that. So, okay. A question just came in. What day do you typically see the most donations made? I would say the first day is definitely generally has a lot of activity. And then it depends on the challenge, on the match challenge. On the endowment challenge day, that Thursday, we see a lot of gifts because that challenge is based on participation and having a lot of different gifts. So it really depends on the challenge. The first day and the last day, typically like the days of the biggest giving. But and then it's really fun on bggives.org on that homepage. Once the challenge starts, you'll see a ticker that shows how much has been raised so far. So it's really, really exciting to see that jump up. We sit around at the office and watch it like it's like it's TV. It's so fun for us. So it's really exciting to see those donations come in. Are there any other questions? I don't see any coming in. So I just want to open the chat one more time to make sure I got everything. Yeah. Okay. So I guess the key, some key takeaways, and then we'll wrap up. Donors are ready to give, and they're waiting to hear how they can help you. Just think about how you can make it as easy as possible for them to give to you during the GoodGiving challenge. Increase your online presence and social media know-how in the time leading up to the challenge. Focus on building those relationships with your donors. Make a plan and execute, and just be you. There's 179 nonprofits this year. It's the most we've ever had. And we're so excited to help share your stories and to see how you share your stories during the GoodGiving challenge. So I wish you all the best of luck. Here is some information for how to contact us. My email is lauren@bgcf.org. Again, my colleague Peyton at bgcf.org, and then add info@bgcf.org to your contacts, because that's where we send a lot of the emails from. If you have any issues with the Neon One bggives.org site, you can use that support button that's in the lower right-hand corner if you need to reset a password or something. Be sure to follow us on social media at BGCFKY, and then use those hashtags as you're posting about the GoodGiving challenge. Hashtag GoodGiving challenge and hashtag BGGives. We love to follow those, and we'll, repost and amplify those posts as well, because we really want to get a lot of buzz going about the challenge. So thank you for your time. Again, I will share the slides and the recording. So don't forget to read your emails, and you can give us a call or email us if you have any questions. I wish you all the best of luck with your campaigns, and thank you for all you're doing. I know we're all stretched really thin right now, but this is a lot of fun, and we look forward to getting started.